Function currying is a way of composing higher order functions. So it's the functional way of thinking. How might we do that in Swift? Let's take a look. So, the purpose of this video is to run through function currying in Swift. However, we have to use this style of syntax in Swift rather than this style of syntax, which I believe makes it slightly harder to use and doesn't exactly line with some other languages. But returning a closure is something that Swift developers are often familiar with in any case. So here's my code, I'm just going to talk through it. Here's a normal addition function, add 3 to 4, and in this playground we get 7, which is no great surprise. But we might want to use a different, more functional style of functions. So we can return the function. So effectively, this is still an addition. Adding 3 and 4 is 7, but at the call site, we have this much more functional approach. So here, we have a triple add. So you're returning a function to add the numbers together. Here I've called it num, y and z. And not surprisingly, 2 plus 4 plus 8 is 14. Now you could keep going on, and if you needed quadruple, you keep returning function. But this starts to get very complex. And you need to have one of these type of functions for each of your functions. So you can have a currying function, which kind of converts a normal function into a curried function. So what do we mean? I've got my add function, which is the one at the top of the screen, in which we're just adding 2 numbers, and you can curry using the generics here, and it converts my addition into a curried function. So I can still do curried add 2 plus 3, which is 5, which I hope is not too surprising. And to do multiples, you can use a mapping. So this adds 3, 4, 5. Don't know why we've got a 6 there. And we can reduce that to make 12, which hopefully isn't too surprising. So we can have multiple additions using that. And we can have this generic version, which works for all types of functions. I've called this one curry, it does exactly the same thing. 4 plus 5 is 9. And then you also might like to have a uncurry function. And here it is. And our uncurry function, well, I haven't actually got a curried function to try on. Anyway, well, I can use my curried add and uncurry it. And not surprisingly, it comes out as the, in inverted commas, normal function. And I can add 4 and 5 and get 9. So these generic functions are actually pretty useful if you want to use this approach of using functions because you think it will make your code in some sense cleaner and easier to read. Feel free to look up these functions. They're on GitHub, there's a link in the description, and hope this helps you out. So, great, got to the end of that video, did the demonstrations, bit about generics, hope it was useful to you, and didn't mention function currying in terms of currying anywhere, apart from there. It's a shame. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and perhaps see you next time.